I'm just waiting.
What's happening? What is going on, man? The chat is already hopping over there.
Because everybody is practicing safe social distancing. So this is their social outreach right now. I'm anticipating our normal 200 to 225 people will be closer to 300 today.
Oh, you
unless
think so?
People are in line waiting for toilet paper.
You're really setting us up for some disappointment.
I
predict we're gonna have 500 people watching this live.
Well, I didn't say that.
Where that voice came from.
I don't know why you became like an
old prospector,
an old redneck from I don't know where.
What are you talking
about? That's loud. That's loud.
You're loud. What is up, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
Yes, Andrew says I'm always social distancing, virus or no. So it's like you've been practicing for a long time. We appreciate it. It's good.
I have not left the house since Friday about noon.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Victoria is commenting, says too much pie, Katy, because I went to Walmart yesterday. Well, yesterday was Pie Day, right? This is the 14th. So 3/14, 3.14 National Pie Day. So I went to Walmart because I had to get a bunch of stuff at Home Depot right next door, and I went in there and they have these little mini pies that are actually quite delicious, you guys, and they're only like 50 cents. And so I did buy a few.
It was excessive
because if we're going to be like staying home for a long period of time, might as well have a lot of pie. So whatever, it's good pie, man. Anyway, hope everybody is doing well. Everybody's healthy. Staying home as much as possible. I know I was just seeing, not to get into a whole discussion about the whole coronavirus stuff, but I do see that, they're talking about a lot of people who are asymptomatic, meaning you're not showing any symptoms, are actually spreading the virus and whatnot. So
that's the whole thing. That's the whole point of social distancing.
Right. And it's like, we're of a healthy age as far as like who's being more affected by this.
Relatively.
Me anyway. As far as who's being affected by this more adversely so. So even if we were to get it, most likely we would be okay. But the whole thing is the less opportunity there is for us to spread it to other people.
That may not
to get it and then spread it to other people who then spread it to other people. And then it gets to my grandma and then I'm pissed. Because somebody gives to grandma and I want my grandma to be around for a long time. So just trying to be smart about it and help to basically let's make this a non-issue by doing things smart from the very beginning, but what else? And make sure you got enough pie to last you for a good couple of days at least.
No major gatherings. That's what they're saying, right? So people are talking about, well, should you go out shopping and whatnot? Here's the thing. Corey and I went to a couple of estate sales on Friday. I mean, as long as you're practicing good hygiene, which God help you, I hope you are anyway.
Yeah.
But good hygiene and you're not, coughing and sneezing on people and you wash your hands a lot and keep your, your hand sanitizer around all that. Be a little bit more vigilant than normal. I think that everyone's fine. And if they start restricting everyone to their homes and only necessities, then of course respect that.
Yeah.
Listen to what the CDC says and all that stuff. But we went to thrift stores on Friday, and I will say it was the best time I've ever had in a thrift store because there were like 3 employees and maybe 3 shoppers, and we were 2 of them, and that's fine because you're perfectly able to keep your social distance. As germy as thrift stores are,
6 feet or something like that.
As germy as as thrift stores are and used clothing and all that kind of stuff, we all know we're used to like the bins. Come on now, that doesn't get much germier than that, right? But if you're washing your hands, it's no different than anything else as far as how many people have touched things, right? So the fact that they were not crowded was actually good. The fact that you are still contributing to the economy keeps people working. Because as this spreads and as it changes, the more that they shut down, the more people that are going to be out of work. Yes, there are packages that have been passed to help those people, but people like us that are self-employed, people that work on tips, unemployment, all that kind of stuff is not going to be enough. So as long as they're still open, I'll continue to go. And if I'm not sick
but as Kathy says, you don't have to actually touch someone. It can travel through the air. And that's true. And
that's true.
That's
the whole 6-foot social distancing thing.
And that's also part of just like not going out more than you need to. So yes, you got to go out and source if that's part of what you need to do for your business. You got to go to the grocery store, of course. But it's like we went out for trivia this last week and we were like, okay, this is the last going out we're going to do for a while.
Yeah.
So it's just like really limiting the opportunities for interactions with people. It's just helpful, whatever.
It's true.
If we can get through this and have a minimal amount of people get really, really sick and as few people die as possible, then that would just be fantastic. So
yeah, exactly.
Just kind of staying home and working on big projects. Speaking of, check out the post I just put up in the Boss Facebook group, all about the big project that we took on yesterday. We just finished it up this morning.
Almost done.
Huge project. Be pretty close to being done. We'll actually be talking more about it on Wednesday's show. We're going to talk about, a couple weeks ago, we did a show on scaling up your business. And then the next logical thing to go to is, okay, now you're scaling up your business. And for most people, scaling up is going to be about increasing inventory. Now, what do you do?
Where do you put it?
Where do you put it? Most of us probably keep our stuff in our homes. And there's that kind of tipping point where you start to become overflowing with inventory, and maybe you're not quite ready to like get a storage unit, or you don't want to. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the project that we just undertook and are still just finishing up. But look at my post in Boss Facebook group. And we'll also talk about like, now that we have a lot of extra time on our hands, potentially for those of you that maybe are having to stay home from work, or your kids are home from school when you weren't expecting them to be, sales are a little slow. Now's the time for those big projects. So we're going to talk about that some more on Wednesday, everybody. Anyway,
so Nathan had a couple questions there. First of all, honey, if you're not leaving the house, I don't care if you take a bath.
Yeah.
So, it's up to you.
Yeah, pretty much.
But there was he did a super chat, and we haven't done one of those in a while.
What?
For him, so.
A super chat for Redneckers and Resales. You know what that means? Yay! Good thing we're stuck together, because you're getting all kinds of spit things going through the air at you.
Yeah,
so
I'm getting all kinds of particles. All kinds of particles happening.
Also, I would like to say that I saw that, where'd it go? Forever Funky, our friend Daryl, she said that she would bake me a pie. And so I would like to say, do I get to request cherry, or is it just what
they say you're going to get the kind of pie I want to make?
But I also feel like she would appreciate me letting her know what my favorite pie is, which happens to be cherry pie. I'm just saying, it happens to be cherry pie. In case you were wondering, Daryl, it happens to be cherry pie. I do love the cherry pie. I also like a lemon meringue. I also like a good key lime. But key lime, that's a tough one. But
are you done?
You can never go wrong with cherry pie. Everyone in the chat, please tell us what your favorite pie is. Okay. Tell us what your favorite pie is. Now listen, I don't know about those like chocolate cream pies. It's like, just eat a bowl of pudding, guys. Basically, you're just putting some pudding in some pie crust. That's not a pie.
That's true.
That's not a pie. But if that's your favorite pie, fine. I'll sit here and I will not so silently judge you.
Stop talking for 2 seconds. We're buffering right now. We've had multiple people say that. So.
Okay, well, I can see us. This is the actual feed. So you might want to try. Sorry, guys, you might want to try refreshing. Because I can see right here that we are actually streaming all right. Anyway, I see a lot of people saying pumpkin, and to those people that are saying pumpkin, you're dead to me. Okay, you dead to me. Pumpkin pie is disgusting.
Disgusting.
Is there any pie that you think is disgusting?
I don't think pumpkin's disgusting, but it's probably one of my least favorite.
Yeah. What is your favorite anyway for pie?
Blueberry.
Blueberry. All right. I can be okay with that.
I like berries. Cherry's okay. Not my favorite.
Yeah. Dupage, Pick Air.
The newest Las Vegas resident.
Apple was my favorite pie when I was a kid. For some reason I got over it. Key lime, delicious. Coconut cream. You're dead to me.
Greg finally made it to Vegas. He is here. We got to see him on Thursday night. He joined us for trivia night, which was not a trivia night. We kind of made our own. They canceled it the last minute. We tried a new location, and we were already all there so we'd had some dinner and a couple of beers and made our own trivia night. So we had fun anyway.
Anyway.
But yeah, welcome to Vegas, Greg.
Welcome to Vegas.
Thanks for bringing the apocalypse with you. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. And by the way, Dana's downstairs taking pictures for her own store, and I just heard her little voice go, key lime. Key lime. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but key lime. So she gives a vote for the key lime, because that first bite when it makes your jaw go, it. You get that a little bit with the lemon meringue, but you really get it with a good key lime. Anyway, enough pie talk.
Seriously, how long can we talk about food? Every freaking show.
Because
we've actually gotten away from the food talk quite a bit.
It's delicious, and I would like you to shut your hole. Noelle, wait a second. Hold the presses. Stop the presses. Noelle has just informed me that the rhubarb is about 2 feet tall already, and she's going to send me fresh rhubarb in the next month, which means you're going to get you some delicious rhubarb crisp, and you're going to enjoy it. So there.
Okay.
So there.
All right.
Yeah, see, Jen can talk about food all day. So
our Sunday show is not about food. It is not 4 segments, the first one being food related. But
it should be. Let's do that.
But we figure that you guys are all stuck at home, so your captive audiences, especially this week.
You're not going anywhere.
So generally, our Sunday live show is broken up into 3 segments. One, we talk about our sales figures for the previous week, good, bad, ugly, and whatever they may be. 2, we talk about we highlight some of our favorite solds from the previous week. In this case, we're going to highlight some from the past 2 weeks because we didn't do it last week.
And so probably also because we had pretty
dismal sales this week.
Last week.
Yeah, that's true. And then we do our haul. So we show some of our favorite things that we picked up in the last week or so.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I think let's see, we're about getting close to halfway to your goal, apparently. You've decided that we're going to get 300 people watching us live. So
okay, well,
call all your friends, call up your grandma, tell her to put us on.
It's usually about 200 to 225 on Sundays. So I don't think 300 is out of the realm of possibility. Yeah, especially since everyone's pretty much stuck at home.
Yeah, pretty much. What's really weird? So we're going to get into looking at our numbers. I was thinking yesterday, because I had to go out when I was doing the whole project, I had to go to Home Depot, go do some stuff, and go to the grocery store. And it kind of feels like it has that feeling of like the holidays, not in a happy way, but like, the holidays or Christmas, like just before Thanksgiving or just before Christmas Day. It's like traffic is really weird. Everyone's patterns are really weird. You go into the store, it's like certain things are like out, and it's kind of that, like everything just kind of feels off kilter.
Yeah.
That's how it feels right now.
Yeah. The stores are really full, but with the exception of course, the people that are hoarding the toilet paper and the Lysol wipes. So we won't even talk about those greedy bastards. But anyway, for the most part, even though the lines are long, people seem to be kinder and friendlier. Like we went grocery shopping on Thursday night after trivia. It was 10:30 at night. We assumed it wasn't going to be busy because it's 10:30. So we said, we'll skip the crowds. It was like a Wednesday evening before Thanksgiving.
That was weird.
That's how busy it was at 10:30 at night. And the shelves were empty, but everybody was stocking. They were stocking all the shelves around us, and everything was being put out, but everybody was really friendly. Even the workers there that had to be very stressed were fairly friendly.
So we went, there was a guy that was like going by with like a pallet of water, and he was like loudly talking to himself. And I was like, what is going on with that guy? And he was walking, I could just hear him saying, he was like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I got your water right here. Just hold on. Just calm down. Like seriously, across the entire Winco. Yeah. And when I went to go get the water, I'm like, I'm sorry, I see you're having a little PTSD right now. And he said, yeah, it's been a little crazy. So,
but if you're nice to the people, you're joking with them like we were talking to some of the people that were working there as we were going through. I mean, you got to try to find some of the humor in it. Let's be people.
Yeah, so. For sure. But be good people, because there's some people who are people-y in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, that's true. So we ended up, here's another tip for you guys. We ended up, when everything first started getting just a little crazy last week, we ended up going on Amazon and purchasing some Lysol wipes and some toilet paper. Not like out of ridiculous.
We were legit out of.
We were legit out of. So we got a pack of 3, and a couple packs of 3 actually. Anyway, the things that were out of stock are coming back in stock. Everything's still being produced. Production has not halted on anything, so things are still coming back in stock. So when we bought it, everything was out of stock, but it's in stock now and it's shipping tomorrow. So if you don't, it's not Amazon Prime in 2 days for a lot of things that have been out of stock, but you'll get it within a week or 10 days. Yeah. So if you could wait, and you want to skip the lines and you just want some extra stuff just to be on, you want your backup a little bit, don't discount going on Amazon and getting it. You can buy the stuff that's out of stock and it will ship when it's in stock. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to let people know that.
and maybe go ahead and order yourself a bidet. Okay.
Right.
I predict that this whole fiasco is going to completely change the US to where people are going to realize bidets are awesome. That's not really a good word. I don't know if that works.
That was and that was Chris Bradley that sent you a bidet. Chris sent Katy a bidet when she had her accident last year.
And it's awesome.
And because her hands were mittens, we didn't want them to be schmittens. That was the joke. So sent her a bidet.
Needed a little shower from a butt.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to share the screen here. We can look at our sad sales for the week.
It's been pretty sad. It's unfortunate we didn't show the numbers last week because
I know you had a really
$4,000 week last week.
Yeah, she had a $4,000 week last week. But man, so it's definitely been a lot slower.
Ew, Bear Kitty. You can use your cat. They're self-cleaning. Ew, sorry. That was ew.
Inappropriate.
And funny.
Okay. So we're looking at our numbers for the week ending yesterday. So from last Sunday to yesterday, I had 20 outgoing eBay orders. My eBay sales have definitely slowed way down. You can see my last 7 days have been over 1,000. But if I look at my numbers today, I'm down to like 800 something for the last 7 days. So 20 eBay orders. 8 Etsy and Grailed outgoing orders. Only one of those is a Grailed sale, and so that's really slowed down. But I think I did $58 on Grailed, and everything else was Etsy. So a total of 28 outgoing orders. eBay gross sales $1,070.93. Etsy and Grailed combined, and again, the majority of that's Etsy, $650.82. So I didn't even reach 2,000 between the three platforms. So $1,721.75. If things keep going the way they are, I anticipate next week this number will be even lower. But who knows?
My sales have been really sad.
Yeah, I do have a lot of really cool stuff to list. So I'm hoping. I mean, that's the thing too, is that like for the last week up until Friday, I went like a week without listing anything new. Like I had been doing cross-posting. I had been doing the, ending at least 10 items on each platform, oldest items, and then, doing sell similar. So I'd stayed active every day. So I don't know if that's had any played into this at all. So I spent $144.31 on shipping, $78.52 on promotion fees between eBay and Etsy. You can see all my fees broken down there. My cost of goods, $195. So my total net sales, $1,116.83. That's pretty dismal.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it is.
Yes, for how my business usually runs, that's pretty low. And my gross average sale price, I'm pretty happy with. I used to try to be above 50. Now I definitely try to be above 60. So $61.49. I'm happy with that. And then my net average sale price is, whoops, I just covered it up, $39.89. So that part's okay. But yeah, sales definitely slowed way down this last week. I know that's not, not everybody's experiencing that. Like we have heard some people say that their sales have actually gone up. Like people are like stressed buying, but it's tough to say because so many people are staying home, so they have more time on their hands. But then at the same time, if they don't have paid leave, then they're losing income. So who knows?
Well, it's tough to say what it's going to do right now. I think a lot of people are in kind of a wait and see because obviously this is going to affect our economy, which is going to affect unnecessary spending. It always does. The good thing about going into a recession, if you happen to be somebody, if this does put us into a recession, which all signs point to it will, the good thing about being in a recession is that if you are someone that sells non-luxury items and you sell used items, your sales will probably increase in the long run because people become more frugal in a recession. So, we'll see what happens. None of us are economists, so it's tough to tell. Like someone said, this is reminiscent of what sales were like after 9/11. I worked in retail. Actually, I didn't work in retail. I had an eBay store, but I was only a buyer back then. So I had only sold like 2 or 3 things. So I don't really, I don't have anything to compare that to.
Yeah.
I was a mortgage broker then. So I'll tell you what, we went dark for a couple weeks at least because we couldn't do anything. Our clients were in New York.
So Forever Funky, Daryl says, Posh is on fire for me. So
that's awesome.
So here's the thing, we were talking the other week about scaling up, and a lot of that is about expanding to other platforms. I would say, if you are experiencing slower sales right now because of everything that's going on, Well, that means you probably have a little bit more time on your hands. So going ahead and signing up for like List Perfectly and using their cross-posting tool and like really buckle down and expand to a couple of other platforms, I think that will help you to make up some of that lost income. So there are things you could be doing to kind of offset that.
Did that really happen, Bear Katy? I didn't see that announcement. The Fed lowered interest rate to 0 today.
Okay.
I think that was he was saying that should happen. I don't think that happened.
Who knows? All right. So tell us about your numbers here.
So nothing spectacular. 38 eBay sales, 10 between Etsy and Posh. I think, 10 between Etsy and Posh. So there were 3 on Posh, 3 or 4 on Posh. The rest were Etsy for a total of 48 orders. 1961 and change on eBay. 435. That was between Etsy and Posh for a total of 23.96. Not a fantastic week, but that's not a bad week either. Compared to the previous week, though, my sales have been going up, 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 up. And then this last week, they just took a nosedive. So it is what it is. Reseller Thrift King said it's breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Just got that alert.
Cool.
Wow. Okay. So that's something that'll help stimulate the economy a little bit. So that means that they're trying to offset a recession happening, which is a good sign. So $289 in shipping, $49 in change in promoted listing fees. That's between Poshmark and eBay. $295 eBay final value fees, $39.14 Etsy final value fees. Keep in mind, I do have a couple of Poshmark sales, but we have not done the calculations for Posh yet. Posh is 20% versus the 10 or 12%. Total, so you might be off by about $5 there.
Sure.
Total costs $672.19 for this particular week. Cost of goods $140. My total net sales $1583 and change. My cost of goods was relatively low this week, which is the only reason why my total net sales were okay. Now, I did just start having a person work for me, Crystal. We've talked before that it's okay for me to say her name. Crystal has been doing listings for me, and so I have just heftily increased my weekly payments in an assistant without my sales catching up to that yet. So it's just, I only have 2 or 3 weeks of those items listed right now. So it's going to take time. So this is a bad time for sales to slow down for me because I'm having to spend more to get the inventory, and I'm spending more to pay her to list the inventory. And I knew that was going to be a few months to ramp up to where I needed it to be. It costs money to make money. But this is not a good time for my sales to go down. Anyway, my gross average sale price is a little lower than I like it to be. I like to be around 50, but not too bad, just under 50. And net average sale price at 33. I do have a lower average sale price because I've accepted a couple of lowball offers on Posh this past week, and it really dragged my ASP down because it was just crap I was trying to clear out. So
yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you have taken, that's the thing about growth. That's the thing about with small businesses is anytime you kind of make a change where you're going to jump forward and try to grow, it kind of creates other problems that you have to address. And so for you, it's like, okay, you're taking this on and you're probably doubling the amount of items that you're listing each week, right? Almost doubling the amount of items she's listing each week. But first, like, you have to put out the cost for that extra help.
Buy the items.
Well, the cost to buy the items, the cost for that extra help, and the sales don't immediately have, impact.
It's going to take a while.
And then you're doubling the amount of inventory you're bringing into the house, which is why we all of a sudden we went from we should do this eventually to holy shit, you've got stuff everywhere and you don't know what to do with it.
I was almost in tears because it was overwhelming me. I've said this before. I really hate to have inventory in the house. I like to have it, listed. We don't have death piles. We list our stuff as fast as it comes in. So I hate having a death pile. It was in the living room. It was in the family room. It was in my office. It was driving me insane. So 2 days of a lot of hard work. And I think that it's, we fixed the situation. There's a temporary finger in the dam. Like you've got some room for growth.
You've got some room to grow. And hopefully if you get to the point where it's like, then you run out of that, then you're bringing in enough revenue that other things can be done to alleviate that. But
yeah.
Man, it's seriously though, guys. It's like what you grow in one area and then everything else like starts to fall apart. It's like you really have to juggle
you have to be prepared for it, because
mm-hmm.
I knew that I was going to lay out more money to get more inventory, and I knew that I was going to lay out more money to have a helper list that new inventory. And it takes time to ramp up.
Mm-hmm.
There's money involved whenever you want to facilitate growth.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've got a good handle on it now, and there's still some room for growth going forward too.
I have plenty of room for growth with the way my stuff is all set up. I don't anticipate having any issues. But you definitely, with having somebody helping you could be growing a lot faster now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our sales highlights from the last week. And then we also have some stuff mixed in. We actually have quite a few things to show today because we kind of mixed in.
We had some really good highlights from the previous week that we didn't talk about because we were on location last Sunday.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that. So I like that.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sore though, you guys. Seriously, I had 44 totes that I had to bring from the garage, and then I have to come through the house, up the stairs, which is like two little half flights or whatever, and then into the back room. The t-shirt totes, those were the worst. They're so heavy.
Oh, Jen, you're so cute. This is my natural curl. I did not do anything to it other than let it dry naturally.
I like her natural curl.
So when I'm not using that nice new blow dryer, this is what it looks like.
I like her hair curly.
Nothing new.
All right. Yep. I'm going to have huge muscles for sure. Yep. I'm pretty sure you have to do it.
She's going to have huge muscles. Not,
she was
I didn't lift anything.
That was just on our little channel.
Oh,
it wasn't specifically you. So get over yourself.
I didn't lift a thing.
All right, let's go ahead and look at this. Starting with you, what you got?
Okay, so this I did take a best offer on this. This was my cost was $3. I took a best offer of $80. I love when people give reasonable offers. So buyer paid $80 plus shipping, and my cost was $3. It was the cool dead stock sweater.
Nice, very nice. All right, first one for me.
Oh, I liked this shirt.
My Quantum Leap t-shirt. This is a Quantum Leap crew t-shirt from 1991.
By the way, this was a trivia question the other night.
It was what? About Quantum Leap?
Quantum Leap. Remember we were trying to, Scott Bakula, we were trying to.
Yep. So anyway, you guys know me. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. I love all the t-shirts that are anything that's movie or TV or sci-fi, horror related I'm into. So I love picking up this kind of stuff. And I've had this one for a handful of months. Didn't sell immediately or anything. But I took an offer for $80. So I was pretty happy with that. You can see that tag right there. This is more commonly an 80s tag, but you'll see it in the early 90s. If it is a 90s shirt, it's going to be like 90, 91, 92, maybe. But anyway, I was happy to sell that one.
Quick question in the chat. Tommy Seattle asked, if you buy 100 items, why can't you sell 100 items in a month? Well, nobody has 100% sell-through. If you do, you're very lucky or very fortunate to have a very high desirable item.
Yeah.
So 100% sell-through is not realistic. I have about a 12% sell-through rate, and I have 2,700 items.
Mm-hmm.
So you do the math there, and that'll tell you how many items I sell per week or per month usually.
Our sell-through rate's actually relatively low.
Mm-hmm.
But that's normal for clothing.
That's normal for thrifted and vintage and
higher priced type
higher
of stuff.
priced items. Yep.
It all has to do with your model. I mean, there's some sellers out there who have less than 100 listings, and they do replenishables, and they're super high price stuff that they go through every single month. I mean, but you know what? That's not very common to find those items. And if you do find a niche like that, you're pretty lucky. So it really all just depends.
It really depends on what you sell, for sure. Most people do not have a sell-through rate that high with what we sell.
So, and don't ever listen to somebody if they say your sell-through rate should be X, because it really depends.
Many different variables.
There's too many factors that play into it.
There are some, now don't get me wrong, there are also some fantastic 100% thrifted resale used item sellers that have closer to a 50% sell-through rate.
Nuts. One
of them being Cindy, that Amazing Taste Superstore. Her and her husband have about a 40 or 50% sell-through rate, and her store is fan-freaking-tastic. So how she manages it, I honestly don't know, but it's very good. She is absolutely an anomaly. That is not the norm.
Well, and Posh Hanger, I think, is another one. It's like
yeah, Monica's
right?
another one.
But you know what?
But
Again,
Monica is another one that she's just, and also an anomaly. She's a complete workhorse. She does double my income, or my gross income in sales every month. She does somewhere around $22,000 to $23,000 a month
with no help,
just on eBay, with no help, 100% one-offs. And
crazy.
She slays it. So now the other thing, one of her favorite expressions is "don't be a greedy bitch." She accepts almost every offer that she gets as long as it's more than what she's paid for the item and it's some profit. So that is absolutely one of the methods that will help you have a higher turnover. I do hang on for a little bit more money.
Well, and again, we've talked about this over and over again. It all depends on what your selling model is going to be. Because I can look at those sellers and be like, wow, that is incredible. That's awesome. They are so successful at it. But for myself, would I ever want to do that kind of volume? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to do that kind of volume.
She works real hard.
I would hate, you know, I like my work and I like what I do, but I don't want to spend that much time on shipping, on sourcing. So it just depends on what you want to do. All right, so we're doing a twofer on this. I put two of your items together. So go ahead.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. So these I showed just last Sunday. I sold them, listed them, and sold them 5 minutes after listing them. So I paid about $2 for these sheets, and they sold to Japan. They sold for the price that you see there, $59.95 plus shipping to Japan. And I made a little bit of money on the shipping too, because I used pirate ship, simple export rate. They're real cute. Snoopy sheets do very well anyway.
They're super cute.
These I had not found anywhere, so maybe I priced them a little too low. There were none listed and none sold in this pattern, so that might have been my.
Well, how long did you have them listed? A day?
I had 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And it's only a flat sheet. It's one sheet.
It's pretty cool though. All right, so I went ahead and did betting together. So
okay, and then this was another one that sold for the price that you see there, $69.97. It was on sale. It's just a simple waffle weave blanket. I've talked about these before. They don't necessarily have to be by a particular brand. These just usually are union made in the USA, if you're lucky enough to have tags still on them. These were I picked this up at a garage sale. I paid $5 at estate sale. Sorry. Estate sale. It was in a bag. It was in a dry cleaning bag. So someone had recently had it dry cleaned, but it sold for what you see there. And the shipping did cost me about $14 to ship.
Sold for how much?
It sold for $69.97.
Nice. And then you charge shipping. So, okay. Then this one for me. So this Wayne Gretzky t-shirt, if you guys remember,
week?
Well, the week before last, because last week we were we weren't home. So that stuff hasn't been listed yet. Anyway, so this is Wayne Gretzky t-shirts, but I did show it on our last regular haul show. This was listed for maybe a day. Not even a day. I had a couple of people making offers. Somebody was offering too low, and I just knew that it was going to sell for more. But then somebody offered $85, and I accepted because I had, I listed for $139.99, but that's knowing it's going to go right into a 30% off sale. So really, I'm listing it for $97.99. And I think $85 is more than enough. I think I paid $20 for this because I bought it from yesterday's fits, but still just an awesome t-shirt. Everybody loves Wayne Gretzky. I mean, come on, guys. What is it? He says you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
I think that's a great quote for us boss up people. I think that you should definitely be listening to the Gretzky. Next one for you.
These were a cute pickup. I think you grabbed these for me. Did you grab these for me?
I don't know.
Katy might have grabbed these for me because I'm not sure that I found them on my own. But I can't remember what I paid for them, but it was under $5. These were listed less than a week. They sold immediately for the price that you see there, the $79.95. I paid about $5 for them. Jams World, always pick up the good Jams World. The brighter, the better. The bigger, the better. You don't find skirts, shorts. These are vintage, by the way. That's the older tag, but you don't find pants, shorts, rompers as often as you find dresses and shirts. So they always sell very, very well. The fact that they were bigger size was even better, but they didn't take very long to sell, maybe a couple of days. Nice.
Yeah, anytime I see Jams World stuff, I always grab it for Vikki because I know it's one of the brands that she really loves finding and buying. All right, next one for me. So I have this AIDS t-shirt.
Wow.
Yeah. So what's funny is I didn't sell it for that much, but so I had gotten 2 of these from yesterday's fits. I paid $20 a piece for them. One of them I sold on, I think I sold the other one on Etsy. I think it was either Etsy or Grailed. And I sold it for like $85. Somebody had offered $85. And then like a few days later, somebody offered $100 for the other one here on eBay.
Perfect.
And so I took the $100 because I had them listed for a little while.
Haven't even had them a month, honey.
It's no, that these ones I got when we were still buying out of the old location. So it was, it's been a few months. But so I had two of them. Again, I paid $20 a piece for them, sold one for 85, sold this one for 100, but I sold both of them within a week of each other, which is kind of interesting. But you know, Jesse had like a number of these t-shirts, and one of them actually ended up in one of the reseller boxes that we shipped out maybe a month ago. So hopefully that person is going to be able to sell it for as much as well, because it's a really cool t-shirt from the 80s, from back during the AIDS epidemic. So just kind of a unique find.
Nice.
All right, next one for you.
So this, I did not sell it for what you see there. This is something I picked up from, I think this was from yesterday's Fits.
Maybe.
I think I grabbed this from yesterday's Fits, and I think it was either $10 or $20. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. Starting at worst case scenario, I paid $20. I'm pretty darn sure it was less than that. I sold it for a best offer of $120. I wasn't going to go that low, but it had been kind of a slow week this week. And my buyer was very nice with a couple of questions back and forth. And I was like, you know what? I'll take your offer. So 120 is fine.
It's really cool. All right. This one is my Coca-Cola racing jacket.
That jacket.
I actually got this at yesterday's Fits week before last, I believe is when it was, when we had bought a bunch of stuff. Jesse was clearing out a bunch of stuff because they needed to get some more space on their racks upstairs. And so I picked this up. I think I paid maybe $20 tops for it. And I actually took an offer for, well, I had it priced at $139.99. Then it was like, so it was on sale for $97.99. The guy bought it, and then he sent me a message saying that he put the wrong address in and wanted me to change the address. And then like a few minutes later, all of a sudden he canceled the sale, and I'm sending him a message. I'm like, I see you want me to change the address. Do you want this or not? Because I just canceled it and refunded you. And he was like, oh, I was just reading the eBay help pages, and they said to cancel it and reorder it. So I had to relist it, and then he offered $105. And I accepted that. So I actually sold it for $105.
He probably assumed you lost money on it when you made the
maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But so I sold it for $105. But I was pretty happy with it because it's literally been up for like maybe a week and a half at the most. It's just a really cool,
I think that's an awesome jacket. Yeah.
What's also kind of cool is when I went to list this, you'd be surprised how many of the same jacket are available for less money. So I actually feel pretty good about selling it for that much. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's definitely a cool jacket from the 70s, but for whatever reason, there's a number of them out there. All right, next one for you.
These, I have had these for quite a while now. I think about 6 months. I don't know if our buddy Larry, who lives locally, is watching or not, but he and I both picked up a bunch from this. They were out of Savers one day, and they had probably 15 or 20 pairs of jeans that were dead stock. And he picked some up one day. I picked them up the next day, or vice versa. And we paid up for them. I want to say I paid $17, $18 for these jeans. But I was perfectly happy to accept an offer for $120. Plus they went to Canada, I believe. So the buyer did also pay for shipping, made a little bit of money on the shipping. So you know, 17, 18 bucks into 120 plus, I'm okay with.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. All right. So next one for me is this really cool Scarface. It's a hand painted t-shirt. The movie Scarface. It's got Al Pacino on there. So it's like this. I don't know if you guys have ever come across t-shirts like this. This is probably like my third or fourth t-shirt I've gotten. I had one that was like Spider-Man. Another one that was, I don't remember what, I had one that was like a basketball one. It might have been Jordan or something like that. But there are these really interesting, like hand painted, it's like this, I don't know, I'm assuming just like a small company where they hand paint these t-shirts. I don't know. It's really cool though. But I've had this one up for quite a while. I had it priced up a lot, but it's like, come on, it's really cool. But this guy offered me $120 this last week, and he sent me a message saying like, I want to, I'd accepted the offer. He's like, I'm going to pay, but I just want to make sure I can get this by Friday because I'm going on a cruise. So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure his cruise was canceled.
I'm assuming his cruise may have been canceled, but he still has a super cool shirt. But man, I was like, ooh, you don't really cruise, but I guess you're gonna be the coolest guy there, and hopefully not sick while you're wearing your t-shirt walking around. But anyway, $120. I was pretty stoked. I got this. I mean, this was like a savers find. I've probably had this for a good year.
I remember when you bought it. Really, a year already?
Wow. Yeah, it's probably been a good year, but I maybe paid like $5 for it. So, all right, next one for you.
So you guys might remember I talked about a lot of Disney pins that I purchased before I went to Rhode Island. So it was maybe a month ago. I paid $200 for about 200 Disney pins, those Disney trading pins. One of them was this particular pin. Now I sold I've sold all of them, by the way, but I wanted to talk about, I sold a bunch of them individually for $30 a piece, $40 a piece. This particular one I sold to a steady buyer of mine who likes to buy several different types of items for $100. I had listed it for $150. I sold it for $100. And I'd already sold a bunch of other pins to him. So I was pretty happy to let that go for $100. I have about I maybe $1 and change into each one because I had purchased almost 200 pins for $200.
Right.
So then he had purchased so many of my pins that he asked if he could buy all of them. So the ones that he had not purchased separately, I created a special listing just for him. Now, they did not sell for this price right here. I put it up that high just in case, and the pictures are not fantastic because he knew what he was getting. So this was specifically a listing for, a specific buyer. Now, I put all of these pins in one listing, all of the ones that he hadn't purchased yet, and I threw in some extra stuff, and I put it up real high just in case he couldn't buy it right away. And then I put best offer, and I was only going to, accept the offer from him, but I sold the rest of the pins for $1,000. So that's it. I turned the $200 into about $1,500 total.
Yeah.
On all of them.
And I mean, if you would have sold these all separately, though, you probably could have.
I would have made at least $3,000 based on the lower pricing of the pins, but it would have taken me a lot longer and there would have been more work involved. So I was happy to do a quick flip.
Yeah.
And for $1,000 now he has quite a valuable collection of pins that he wants to turn around and sell them himself, he can triple or quadruple his money.
Yeah.
It would just take longer.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. So next one for me. Oh man. Got some Randy Savage. Whoa. You turned into kind of a goat, Randy Savage. She's what? Randy, what was that? Randy Savage.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
I don't know what is happening. Anyway, Randy Savage Macho Man t-shirt. I bought this from yesterday's Fits like a few weeks ago, not too long ago. I got like a bunch of different wrestling t-shirts. And at the time that I got this one and 2 other wrestling t-shirts. And I remember I paid $50 for this one and $30 each for the other 2, which the other 2 should also sell for around the same price as this one. But this one sold for the price you see there, $139.99. So it took a couple of weeks, sold it for $140, paid $50 for it. So yeah, I'm definitely paying up a lot more these days when I buy stuff, but I know what I'm buying. So, I was paying $50 for this t-shirt knowing I absolutely was going to be able to sell it for well over $100, and knowing it probably wouldn't take that long because it was in fantastic condition. It's just a really nice shirt. You can see from the tags there. It was just a really nice vintage single stitch, awesome t-shirt. Love it, love it, love it. This is another one where if you look it up, there are definitely other ones out there. So
the repros.
Well, yeah, that too. But even some of the vintage ones. But this was the only one that was this particular size and in this condition. So it was a pretty quick flip, and for the Goat Man, Randy Savage.
The Goat Man. Weirdo.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one that I picked up from yesterday's Fits. I paid $5. This actually had quite a few yellow spots on it, and we were able to get this clean with the bleach. But there were a couple that you could still see. This was a really soft, super thin vintage shirt. I thought it was pretty cool. And like I said, I paid $5 and it sold on Etsy.
This was like from like the very first
time we went there.
First time we went to yesterday's Fits and bought all this stuff.
Probably 5 months or so. I think it's been about 5 months since we've been buying from them.
And there you go.
Sold for $79.95.
What?
Plus international shipping. This actually went to, I think, Brazil.
What?
So they paid international shipping.
Did you get insurance for it?
I did not.
Really? All right. Okay.
If I lose it, I'm out the shipping and $5.
No, I hear you. I hear you. No, Brazil. I was just saying because Brazil is one of those countries.
So it may not be.
It
might not be Brazil. Actually, I can't remember. Belize. Is it
Belize? Okay.
Might be Belize. Anyway.
All right. Cool. Okay. Next one for me. This is actually this.
Because I think I would have insured it if it went to Brazil.
That's honestly. What I was saying. Because Brazil's like the one country
Brazil
where I've
and
had
Chile
stuff disappear. Yes, exactly. Okay, so I actually sold a couple of things to this buyer, but of course I had to show this because hello, I love anything that's skiing, and you guys should know that by now. This kind of stuff makes me happy.
I lied. It went to Austria. Sorry, I had to double check because we were talking about it. Sorry.
Anyway, so this one, just a really cool skiing sweatshirt, 80s, 90s. Couldn't really tell exactly what decade it's from, but probably late 80s, early 90s. Just a really cool sweatshirt, but it's like, you can see it's all distressed. You can see from like the fading. I mean, it's pretty faded there. I had this price for $47.99 on Etsy, and then I have a 10% off sale going. So this particular sweatshirt, they paid $43.19. This sweatshirt, I believe I got this just a regular saver. So I probably paid at the most like $5 for it. But just a really cool skiing sweatshirt. I'm always going to pick this kind of stuff up because it just makes me happy. It's not like it flies off the shelf by any means, but I still enjoy it.
So this is another yesterday's purchase for me. This is from their $5 pile from when we did our group sale for our local reseller friends there that we helped host with the guys. So I paid $5 at the end of the night after everyone had picked. I was going through the $5 pile and I pulled out a bunch more items after everybody had gone and gotten what they wanted. So I paid $5 for these. These sold international as well, and they sold on Etsy
for, let's see. Dun, 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 dun.
These did sell for 10% off that. I had a sale going, so they sold for $89.95 plus international shipping.
All right, pretty cool. So Liz is in the chat, and she's yelling at me because apparently I find better Colorado stuff than she does, and she lives in Colorado. And
Air Force stuff because she's a retired Air Force officer.
Indeed. So let me tell you, Liz, check this out. Here's another, just to really drive it home. Here is an awesome t-shirt. Now, I love these kinds of t-shirts. I love any kind of like event, like race t-shirts, like whether it's running or cycling, anything like that. I love these ones from the 80s and 90s. I especially love the 80s ones. But this is a Tour of the Moon bicycle ride t-shirt from 1987 in Colorado. This t-shirt is practically brand new. I believe this was part of I bought like a whole lot off of somebody on eBay and paid like, I think it was an average like $5 per t-shirt. And I think this was one of them. And it's pretty much in dead stock condition. It's in really nice new condition. Single stitch, just a really cool t-shirt. And you can see what I was saying before about the Hanes tags that are like, mid-late 80s, sometimes
70s into early 80s is where you find when they have the size with the chest measurement, usually I find.
But this Hanes tag right here is mid to late 80s, right. Early 90s.
I wasn't talking about Hanes specifically. I'm talking about the tags that have the chest inches next to the tag. That's 70s into the early 80s where you see that a lot.
I don't think you see it at all on 90s t-shirts.
I haven't found it.
I don't think so. But so if you see it with the, with that chest measurement, it's at least vintage for sure. Because any modern t-shirts don't have that stuff on them. But anyway, just a really cool t-shirt. And let's see what I sold it for. So this was the same buyer that bought that sweatshirt, and it did go to Colorado. So obviously somebody wanted to get, see, Liz, they have to like order offline.
Because you don't have any local.
They have to order online in order to get the cool stuff, because I've got it all. Anyway, so $69.99. Again, it was 10% off, so they actually paid $63. So they paid $63 for this, $43 for the Colorado sweatshirt. So yeah, I mean, I love finding this
$1 million.
$1 million. Anyway, I was pretty stoked about it. I think this is just an awesome t-shirt. It's really cool graphic on it.
So this was a really good sale. I've had this listed for a good 6 months. It's on Mercari, it's on Etsy, and it's on eBay. I've had a lot of questions about it. I always pick these up, but they are rarely complete. This one is not complete, but it does have a complete, a complete 2 of the game of the player's cards. There's just a bazillion pieces to these types of games, and there is no way to know whether it's complete or not. It's super complicated. It's all about statistics. It's ridiculous. But the baseball nuts love this. Love these games, and they sell very well. It's just because there's no list of contents, it's almost impossible to tell if it's complete. The only thing you can do is just list everything you have. I do have in the title, it says complete, but some of the games are complete, and then I have everything listed within the description as to what's in it. But it's weird. Anyway, so it sold for there you go. It was 10% off, so this sold for $179.95. It was $20 off. Free shipping. I did insure it, and it's already been received by the buyer. So
crazy. So Jennifer wants to know, she has some AIDS Walk t-shirts, never worn, but they have yellowing on them from the cardboard box. How do I get that out? My question to you is, what color are they? Are they white t-shirts? Are they colored t-shirts? It depends, because I've kind of found, like, I would go ahead and just wash them. I know they're never worn, but I doubt they have tags on them. So just go ahead and wash them and see if that helps at all. And then if they're white t-shirts, I would just bleach them. Like, oh, they're white. Yeah, bleach them. Just bleach them. I've talked about the bleach taps that I use. Just go ahead and bleach the crap out of them. It'll be fine. All right, next one for me. So the next couple of things I have are items that are absolutely thrashed. And I'm
looking at that one. Jeez.
This one is just, I had it priced way high, but I still sold it for a really good amount. I've had it for a little while. But if you look at it, it is just, look at this. It is just shredded.
People pay a lot of money for designer shirts that have those type of holes in them.
Yeah, I mean, this is really
factory now.
Yeah, I know. So it's a fine,
especially chicks.
I would say it's a fine art to identify what is good damage and what is bad damage. Because some stuff, like, it has a big oil stain on it, that's not going to be good. If it's a jacket and has a hole in it, that's not good. But
those are pretty. That's worn pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, you can see like where, like, all these different little wear spots and single stitch. Look at the back. I mean, even this, like, it's got a huge hole right there.
That looks like someone did that on purpose. People do that.
Well, but I can tell you that the material's really thin. So yeah, this is just a really, really well worn t-shirt. Anyway, this girl contacted me, and she
I knew it was a chick.
Exactly right. She wanted to know if I would take a lower amount, and I said sure I will. And so I repriced it for her. I had a sale going on, so I had to. It's going to be like a weird price because it was actually 10% off. Yeah, so $83.33 because she wanted to know if I would take $75. So 10% off of that would be $75. So she paid $75 for this absolutely destroyed, shredded t-shirt.
I told you it was going to be a chick.
Exactly. But guys wear them too. So
they do, but girls specifically buy shirts that look like this. She probably had nothing interesting, or not very much interest in the topic of what the shirt was.
Yeah,
that type of shirt sells.
Yeah, Jennifer, you won't wreck the shirts with bleach tabs. I promise. I promise. So don't sue me though. All right, next one for you.
So these I've had for a couple months. Again, yesterday's fits. I paid $10 for these, probably my first or second stop there. So they have a lot of things. I have 2 things that had been, you can see there's some damage to them. They're a little bit dirty. They're really ugly 90s Gerbeau jeans, but they're signed by Riff Raff, the rapper. He's a rapper, right?
Yeah, he's a rapper.
So I have 2 things that have been signed by him. They had a little bit of a collab going there where he was going in and signing a bunch of stuff in their store. So, he did it on purpose. So I know that it's a real signature and all that kind of stuff. Because the guys I bought it from were there and present when everything was sold. So I paid $10 for these. They sat for a good 4 or 5 months, and I knew they would. And they sold on Etsy.
They sold for
10% off of what you see here. So they sold for $180.
Yep.
These also went international.
Very nice. All right. So yeah, going back to the bleach tabs really, really quick. What I do is I take all the white t-shirts that I need to bleach for that week. Like I'll have 7 or 8 t-shirts. I throw them into the washer. I put it on hot. I buy the bleach tabs that they have at Walmart. I think they're called Resolve. Sandra can back me up, or Evolve or something like that.
The link is in our Amazon store down below, I believe.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're right there. Evolve.
Yeah, point right there, because everybody can see. They're right there.
I was saying it to you. Anyway, guys, and I know it's kind of small, but you can see it right there. These bleach tabs. So I'll put like 7 or 8 t-shirts in there, hot water, throw in a couple of detergent packets, because I have like, just the regular detergent things, and then like 4 or 5 of those bleach tablets, and then I just wash them like that, and it works great. Okay, so next one for me, again, look at this shirt, this Ace Ventura Pet Detective. It's actually from the second movie. It is tie-dyed. It is crazy faded. It's got paint on it.
It's thrashed.
It's single stitch. It's got the same kind of like wear spots on the shirt. So there's holes in it. It's pretty.
Did the same chick buy it?
No.
Oh.
It's pretty destroyed. And I sold this one for, and I've only had this listed for maybe a few weeks, maybe.
How much did you pay for it?
Oh, I paid like maybe 15. I didn't pay a ton for it.
So I'm asking, you didn't mention.
And I sold it for $63 because it was 10% off. So I sold it for $63. But seriously, guys, like, some people don't like having wear, and they want their stuff to look as close to new as possible. But for a lot of people, it adds value to it. I had somebody make an offer, like lowball me on that Metallica t-shirt that I remember I showed it like a month ago or so, that really cool metallic, and it had like the cats on it, and I have it priced really high, and it's super worn. It has holes in it and everything. And somebody like tried to lowball me, and they said, the hole, it really brings down the value significantly. Like, I was like, okay, like, you would be incorrect. Maybe, I think I responded, I said, maybe for you, but for a lot of people that actually adds value to it. So you would be incorrect. All right, next one for you.
So this is one Katy actually found for me. It was in a frame. It is stuck on foam board, so I could not remove it. I didn't ship it with the frame, but it is shipped flat with the foam board backing. This is going to the United Kingdom. It's actually there now. It just hasn't been delivered yet, but it did make it there already. I paid $4 for it. It was already in a frame, and it sold on Etsy for
bam,
$210, plus they paid $62 shipping.
What?
It was calculated shipping, but I ended up paying like $40-something shipping using Pirate Ship. So I mean, I basically made $230 off of a $4 purchase on this.
You're welcome.
For a poster.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's the good thing about shopping with Katy. When she's done shopping for herself, because she does only look in a certain couple of areas in a store, she has a good eye for what I would like. So when she is done shopping for herself, she'll go into areas that I haven't looked at yet and be like, hey, look what I found. And this was one of them.
Thanks, Sandra, for showing your appreciation for my awesome humming in between reveals and whatnot. All right, guys, remember this?
I was super jealous when you brought this one home. I love me some Pendletons.
So this is another one that I picked up a couple weeks ago when we went into yesterday's fits, and Jesse was trying to clear out a bunch of stuff. And I bought a few different Pendleton things, and this was the one I was actually the most excited about, because it's just an awesome cardigan. Pendleton, I think I put up as 60s with this tag. I would say it's 60s. Maybe it could be early 70s, but definitely at least 60s. And it's just got a really awesome pattern on it. Love it. So this was listed for what? Maybe a week? Maybe I had it for a week. And I sold it for, let's see, and bam, $150. It said not gone on sale, so sold it for $150 and for a cardigan, guys. And I was getting great prices for everything I bought. I think I paid $20 for this. All the stuff I bought from Jesse that week, I didn't pay a whole lot for. So $20 into $150 within a little over a week. And I'm pretty sure this is something he had on his eBay. You know, a lot of the stuff that we bought, a lot of the stuff that we picked up that week was stuff that he was clearing out from their stock of eBay stuff. So I think this is something that they had listed on eBay. They took it down. I posted it, and within a week I sold it on Etsy. Like, that's what's super crazy, is like how it just, and sometimes that'll happen with somebody will have it on eBay and I sell it on eBay. But in this case, he didn't have it listed on Etsy. So there you go. All right, put your phone away, woman.
Sorry.
Multitasking.
I know. It would be nice to sell something.
Yeah, it would be. Anyway, so that's it for our sales highlights for the week. But let's go ahead and talk about what we got this week.
Did you stop sharing the screen?
No. Yes. See this right here? This is what they see.
Sometimes I can't tell when you do it.
This right here is what they can see.
All right. I'm like, oh, do they want to see us? So,
but anyway, so this last week, you were kind of having a little bit of a panic attack earlier in the week.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of part of those growing pains I was talking about earlier, of like,
and the fact that I don't like change, and I'm a person that has a lot of anxiety to begin with. So change throws me into being anxious.
Yeah. So she's like 2 weeks into this whole new thing where she has somebody, Crystal, come and pick stuff up, but now the pressure's on that she's got to have, she has to source enough, right? So I think
I'm sourcing double what I normally source. At least.
But you were like Monday, you were like, I'm never going to be able to do it. It's never going to happen. I can't source today. I can't source tomorrow. And I was like,
I had too much stuff to do.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, so she's saying like, I can't source today. I can't source tomorrow. And I come into her office. I'm like, okay, how many listings have you done? She's like, well, I've listed 15 things and I've cross-posted them to all of the platforms. And I'm like, okay, so put your stuff down. Sometimes I have to come in and be like, here's the deal. Okay. And sometimes she listens, sometimes not so much. But usually she ends up listening. But I was like, you've done enough as far as activity goes in your stores. Go to a couple of thrift stores. Go spend a couple hours. Like, you don't need the whole day. So anyway, so she went, you got a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you went the next morning, got a ton more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you went again a couple days later, got even more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of had a good week.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. eBay Reseller and Thrift King says I need a shopper now. You know, I almost do, but that's the thing. That's where my skill lies. My skill lies in being able to buy the right items for good, for good prices. I know what to buy. So that's not something I want to pawn off on someone else, honestly. I do have, my lister, Crystal, can do up to 100 items a week. I haven't gotten her to 100 yet. Last week there were 70 and she was already done by yesterday. So that means she picks up on Monday afternoon and she was done by Saturday morning. Plus she's doing her own business. So she can handle up to 100 a week is what her guesstimate is. And that's about all I can handle. So for me, I think 100 is about as far as I can go, without going into another, scaling up to a different level, which I'm not sure I want to go there, honestly. Yeah. I think that would be too stressful.
You're already doubling
for me. So
you're listing.
So if I can get 100 items a week to her, that'd be great. This week I was able to get 82.
Yeah.
So tomorrow she will be picking up 82 and dropping off 70.
Yeah.
Plus the hard goods. She's not doing hard goods or bags or shoes. I'm doing those. So I'm trying to get up to 150 new listings listed every single week, with her doing about 100 of them. Because just because she takes the pictures and does the listing, that is absolutely the heavy part. Don't get me wrong. I'm still tweaking titles, choosing prices, and making those listings live and then cross-posting them to 4 different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for sure. No, she's got it under control, guys. Vikki's just really good at preemptively freaking out before anything's happened. And so
that's true.
It was Monday. She had until the next Monday to get enough stuff, and she was already freaking out that it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So you just needed to go out and get a good win. And once you did, then you were like, okay, now you kind of felt a lot better. But
yeah.
You got some really good stuff.
I did.
And I didn't get a ton. I went to yesterday's fits because remember I've got a bunch of stuff the previous weekend. So I went and I got a little bit of yesterday's fits, and then later in the week, on Thursday, Barry, Afro Vintage, he, every once in a while, he hooks it up and he'll like come. It's great. I just like wait at home and he shows up and it's like I get to shop without having to leave the house. So he actually had like a bunch of t-shirts and I ended up buying like almost 50 t-shirts from him. So most of what I'm going to need for next week. But that stuff I'll save for next week because I haven't taken pictures. I haven't done anything with it yet. So that'll include next week's haul. But man, he brought it this time. I got some really, really cool stuff from him. But I also, for today, I have the little stack of stuff that I actually purchased from yesterday's fits. So
Allison says she's been sourcing Nutella and peanut butter. I'll have you know that I had a peanut butter and fluff sandwich for lunch today. That was my comfort lunch in the midst of all this craziness. So I haven't been feeling well for the past couple days. Don't worry, it's not the coronavirus. I just think I have a stomach bug. So I've had a headache and I haven't been feeling great for the past couple days. So don't make the eyeball. I'm fine. I don't have a cough. I'm not congested. I can breathe just fine. But I've been feeling great. So,
yeah. But Allison's being silly because we went to the grocery store to kind of stock up on. We just want to make sure that we have like enough food that if we had to stay home for a couple of weeks, we would already be prepared to do that. So lots of stuff that we like to eat, but lots of like canned goods and different things like that. Anyway, and I picked up I put like a bag of chocolate chips in the cart, and Vikki noticed them, and she was like, "Why do you have chocolate chips in the cart?" And I'm like, to eat with peanut butter. Hello. Because it's awesome. Yeah, you take a cup, you put your chocolate chips in there, then you take your spoon, you get some peanut butter, and then you go do, 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 do. And peanut butter being naturally sticky, it just goes do, 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 do. And then you got chocolate chips on your spoon, and then you go yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 and it's delicious.
Okay, so if you don't know what a fluffernutter is, Tommy in Seattle, do a little Google search. It's an East Coast thing. Fluff is like marshmallow cream.
Mm-hmm.
On the West Coast, but it's not the same. It doesn't taste the same. It's not the same consistency.
Different brand.
But that's the most that's the closest parallel that I can give you for what it is. But yeah. So
yeah.
Anywho.
So Sandy wants to know when yesterday's fits boxes will be available again. When I was in there this last week, they were close to having enough for 10 boxes. But we'll not see. Quite. There was some good stuff, but not quite enough. And I say I really want to make sure that they're super awesome boxes. So maybe this week, it just depends because I don't know how busy they've been. I don't know how much stuff they've brought into the shop. So we will see. But there definitely were some pieces, the stuff we set aside that are awesome. But we'll just see.
See, Noman the Frog. Hey, guys. I don't know if that's Bill or Dave or both in there, but hey, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you in the chat. Fluffernutter sandwich is definitely, it's a comfort thing. So my mom used to make them too, and I made them for my daughter. And it's every once in a while, it's one of those things that would.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what would come up if you Google fluffernutter. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Maybe you don't want to Google. Sorry. I didn't even think of that.
Inappropriate.
Ew.
Oh, it's Bill.
Hi, Bill.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and show us some cool stuff that you got?
So I brought fewer things to show in the haul because we showed more things in the sold. So I didn't want to like monopolize the haul as well. But I'm going to start off with, I went to Savers. Corey and I had gone to do a couple of estate sales, and it was rainy and it was kind of crappy out on Friday. We really only went to one. And then one was canceled. It was weird. So we ended up saying, forget it. Let's just go to a couple of Savers. So Savers was pretty much empty, as we were saying. So I ended up getting some really good stuff. So one of the things
Are you going to start off with the one that I'm super jealous of?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the one. I mean, she got some really cool stuff, but this is the one thing where I was like, oh, if only I would have gone with her, that would have been mine.
Mm-hmm.
So
I paid $15. I did pay up for it, but well worth it. I think this is 70s. I've got to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 70s based on the collar and the tags. But this is a dead stock 70s Wrangler buffalo plaid.
Not Wrangler.
I'm not sorry, not Wrangler. Woolrich buffalo plaid, heavy wool. Let it go. You're probably gonna tear it. It's old. Shirt jack. So it's a really big, good size. I think I'm going to sell it for about 150.
Oh, it's so heavy. I love it. I want it.
Get your hands off my shit, woman. So that's pretty cool. That's like one of my favorite things I picked up. Same store is this suede Western blazer. I always sell every single one of these I pick up. It's more the style than the brand. But in this case, it's got a cool embroidered yoke. But it's a good brand as well. So it's this brand Scully. So I think I can get probably, I paid about $9 for this, $10 for this. I think I can get about $100 for this, maybe a little bit more. I've got to double check. I didn't quite look it up, but the brand sells very well. Even the shirts I get about $50 for. So it might be more than 100.
Interesting.
Let's see. This was an $8 purchase. We've got a vintage Hilo Hattie. Not super vintage, but this was probably early 2000s, still made in the USA. But it's a real big size Hawaiian shirt, and it's bark cloth.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's bark cloth.
It's bark cloth, and it's a good size shirt. So this is probably about a $45, $50 shirt.
Let's see if I can get.
It's a nice tapas pattern.
Hold on a second here. Let's see if I can get to. Okay, yeah, I think you can see the texture. So if it shows up on your screen, you can kind of see the texture of that from the, you know, the bark cloth. So it's kind of the key thing here. Anyway, very cool. I like it. Allison's jealous.
I'm glad. I never make Allison jealous of my shit, so I like it.
So nice.
So the other thing that I found was one of my holy grail items that Allison finds all the time. Katy finds all the time. This is my very first time finding, and not only did I find one, I found two. Vintage Pendleton board shirts. I even sent Allison a picture because I was so proud of myself. So these are nice 70s. Again, look at these big widespread collar. What makes it a board shirt, and these are dead stock, I'm pretty sure. They're very, very stiff and crispy.
Crispy.
No holes, which you find a lot in older Pendleton. Marked at $7.99. I paid 20% off of that. What makes it a board shirt is, one, this little loop on the collar, which is not always there. Sometimes it's been broken or cut off. But the straight pocket, the straight flat pocket, it's kind of like a rounded straight flat pocket.
And no button.
And no button. And then the straight hem, if we can see. Let me get this.
Yeah. So there's no tail.
So there's no tail for you to tuck it in. So I got not one, but two. And I'm super excited. They're both dead stock. This is a really big size as well, which older shirts are real hard to find in big sizes because, let's face it, we are pretty fat Americans now, and we were not always. So this is a 2XL. I'm pretty excited about that one.
Very nice.
So I got one 2XL, and then I got, this is the other one, and this one is just a large.
That one's weird because it's got the,
it has the shirt jack kind of,
to...
yeah. It's this one's more of a shirt jack because it's like got that lining a little bit inside the collar, but it is still a board shirt with the little loop and the same things. But then it has some snaps on the pocket. And this is also dead stock, but I feel like this was maybe supposed to have a badge or something that was snapped onto the front of it that is not there. I don't think it will affect the value at all.
Yeah.
Someone could put a cool patch on it.
So Tommy in Seattle says, is board better than normal plaid? It's not. So the board,
it's not the plaid.
It's not the plaid. It is the style of the shirt.
It's the style of the shirt. It's the little loop.
So the loop.
The pockets.
The pockets that have no buttons. That's
rounded
the big thing.
and no button.
No button.
Not pointed, rounded corners. And then the straight across, it's almost like looking at a pajama top. Yeah. So it's a straight across hem. There's no tail for you to tuck it in.
But when it comes to Pendleton plaid wool shirts, the board ones are the ones that sell for more than others. Now, I was just talking to Allison about this. It does seem like they've slowed, sales of like the board shirts have slowed a little bit. They still sell, but they take a little bit longer. But just go to eBay and look at sold prices and like sort highest to lowest, and you'll see that the board shirts are the ones that sell for the most.
Yeah.
Those are the most desirable.
And depending on the size and the type of plaid pattern, there are certain ones that are more desirable than others. That, I think, is the Campbell plaid. Allison can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the Campbell plaid, just the regular.
Interesting.
Navy blue and green plaid. You can go now if you want. I have more, but you can go.
Also, Victoria says, I remember when you went steady back in the 60s and 70s, you wore your guys Pendleton. That's awesome. Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
What is the Beach Boy plaid? I've heard you say that before, but I'm not sure what the Beach Boy plaid is.
Can you define, or do we, I guess we have to like look it up.
We may have to look it up.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Very cool. Is it my turn?
Yep.
All right. So of course I got a bunch of t-shirts. I don't know. I saw Kara Cooper in the chat. There are a couple of t-shirts I got that she's going to try and like hit me over the head for.
Black Watch plaid. Thank you, Allison. Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. Well, like her mom her mom's like Scottish or Irish or one of those. I'm terrible, but
Allison's Scottish, I believe.
Yeah, so she knows like all the plaids and everything. So she knows them herself, and then sometimes she'll ask her mom if she's not sure. Anyway, so speaking of kind of worn out and faded shirts, I picked up the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, I think the graphic is really cool on it. It's that Salem Sportswear. You see this tag right here. This was like a big tag from like the 90s. I really like most of the graphics on the t-shirts and sweatshirts that they did in the 90s. But you see this one's got holes, it's worn, it's faded. I mean, I'm not going to sell this one for like $1 million or anything like that, but I think I have it priced at like $50. But it's a nice 49ers t-shirt. I think I paid like $15 for it. Actually, so
Pacific 49 must have that shirt.
There you go. So I was at yesterday's Fits. I got the stuff that I was going to get for the week, and there's this guy that works there sometimes. One of his helpers, Joe. And
I like Joe.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, and he thrifts a lot himself and sells stuff. And he came in, and he had just been in California for his birthday, I think, and he had some stuff that he had picked up, and he got a bunch of t-shirts that were dead stock, and I ended up buying a few of them off of him. And they are these Hunchback of Notre Dame t-shirts. They have the 3 gargoyles. I can't remember what their names are. Isn't it like Lorraine and I don't remember Laverne? Somebody out there probably knows what their names are. Anyway, it's the gargoyles from Hunchback, and this one is double-sided. This is Living on the Edge, but these are vintage 90s single stitch Hunchback t-shirts. And I paid $20 a piece for them. I got 3 of them, so I paid up a little bit, but I think that was fair. I think I'll be able to sell them for $60 a piece, probably.
I love them. I think they're really cute.
Yeah, this one's
I
really
will say
cute.
between the Hunchback and Lion King, those are the 2 Disney movies that I must have watched 9 bazillion times, roughly, because that was the time when my daughter was a toddler.
Yeah.
So she was born in 93, and I'm pretty sure the Hunchback, would you say it was 95, maybe 96?
It was like 90, yeah,
the 3 or 4 year old range. You know, when you have to watch the same Disney movie 9 million times in a row,
right?
That's Lion King and Hunchback for me.
Yep, pretty much. All right, and then I got 2 of these ones, and this is a nice size 2XL. It says Friends in High Places, and again, it's the 3 gargoyles. Nobody's coming through with the names. Their names are like Laverne, and I can't remember the other 2 names.
I don't know.
This one's not double-sided. That's nice.
Google will work.
I have them in my listings. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, just really cool. So I paid $20 a piece for 3 t-shirts. So I hopefully should be able to sell them for like $60 a piece. Quit Facebooking.
I'm just answering questions.
Stop it.
That was on eBay.
Stop it. We're doing a show right now.
I can do it while you talk.
Have respect for the audience.
I'm just trying to get through your jibber jabber.
Inappropriate, guys. How are we gonna make it through 3 weeks of quarantine? I don't know.
Only one of us is coming out alive, folks.
Anyway, all right. So this is another one I got from yesterday's Fits.
Victor, Hugo, and Laverne.
Thank you. There you go. So Vikki was saying, like, it seems like all the shirts I get look the same now, and all I do is buy red ringer tees. I'm going to put this in front of your face. Red ringer tees. But this is a really cool Super Bowl 23 from, 1989. The 49ers and the Bengals. Yeah. So there's another 49ers shirt for you, Pacific 49. But I think I paid $20 for this, and it's in fantastic condition. It's not dead stock, but it's really, really good condition. You can see the old Screen Stars tag there. Very, very cool. Love it. Love it. All right. Why don't you go ahead?
All right. Are you just trying to make me stop?
Yes, it's distracting to me.
Sorry. That's your problem.
Okay, you go ahead.
Okay.
Hold on.
Do I do that while you're on the phone? I do not.
Sorry, your phone's off screen, so you're like this.
Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all. Anyway, so some people might have seen when I was talking about, I had it on Instagram and also in the Facebook group about going to get a dress that was on sale at Savers. So Katy and I had gone there on Tuesday evening, and Tuesday evening, the particular color tag was the yellow tags, and the yellow tags were 50% off. So they had this behind the counter at 50% off. I'm just going to show you. First of all, it's a dress. This was the price that they had.
Ridiculous.
Go home, Savers. You're drunk. Right? $175 for a dress at Savers. Yeah, all the people going to thrift stores are spending $175 on an article of clothing. Get out. So even at 50% off, it was not worth it. But the very next day, this particular color tag was going to be on sale for $2. So first we asked, would you sell it for, it was an hour before closing, mind you, would you sell it for $20 today, or do I have to really come back and get it for $2? Because nobody's buying it at the full price. Clearly nobody wanted it at 50% off.
Right.
But they said no. So I was there at open, and I did go back and I got it for $2.
It's good though, because then you ended up buying like
they ended up having a 40% off on dresses sale, and I had not bought any dresses the night before, so I did that. But anyway, it's Diane von Furstenberg, which is, we all know, is a good brand. It's a new with tags dress. It's not one of her classic wrap dresses, which if it were, it actually would be a little bit more valuable. But it does have a new with tag. The tag is $358 on it.
There you go.
And it was picked up. It was from Neiman Marcus, and it's only a couple seasons old. I think it's like a 2016 dress. Might be even it's a high-low dress. It's hard for me to show it because it's not. It's almost like a cage dress. It's white. It's a wrap. It's high-low. Anyway,
it's really interesting because I think this part's
it's got this weird mesh thing going on.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think the thing's fugly, but somebody is gonna like it. Anyway, I paid $2 for it, so I think I will probably get about $100 to $125 for it. I'm not going to get anywhere near the list price, but $100 to $125 is reasonable.
Is this an emoji with a face mask?
It is.
That's very funny.
So the other thing that I picked up at Savers the other day is another one of these Fox Racing hoodies. Again, it's not Sasquatch because it doesn't say Sasquatch, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in the listing because a lot of people do regardless. And that's kind of how you know that it's got this big faux fur lining in it. It's just a basic black. But the last one I bought at the bins, and I sold it within a couple of days for $80.
Crazy.
So I think I can get about $100 for this.
Oh, this one's a nice one.
It's a real nice one. And the fact that it's black is really nice. So I paid $9.49 and it was 20% off. So what, I paid like $8 for it.
Nice.
This was another purchase the other day at that Good Savers with all the Pendletons. This was marked for $6.49 and I paid 20% off of that. It's a 2XL. It's a vintage Rain Spooner. Rain Spooner is another one that's a good brand for this is 80s Rain Spooner into early 90s, this tag. It's a 2XL. It's not a fantastic print. Some prints are better than others. It's just a rayon, but it's got like all the surfboards all over it. So for the price, it'll probably sell for about $45, maybe $50. Again, because of the size and the fact that it's vintage.
Do I like this one?
This one was a good one. I did already sweater shave it and it looks a lot better. Not perfect, but it looks a lot better than it did. It was pretty pilly because it was old.
Pretty pilly.
Pretty pilly.
It's pretty pilly. Good golly, pilly.
But I like the fact that it was marked for $3.49 and I got 20% off of that. So you've got a vintage 80s into early 90s bum equipment sweatshirt, you know, original bum equipment.
See, I'm telling you, that's why I like it when sometimes when sweatshirts are super pilly, because usually they'll price them for lower because they look so dingy and worn when they are like that, and then you just sweater shave them.
But it's the really nice, super soft lining. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, where it feels like it's like butter on the inside. Anyway, so I sweater shaved it and it looks a lot better. It was looking pretty rough for a while, but now it's actually pretty darn good.
Yep, looks nice.
I think I can sell that for like $50. I've just got a couple more clothing items that I'll finish up. This is again the same haul with the Pendletons. This is a vintage. It looks like it was marked at $12.99, so I paid about $10 for it. It's like a vintage Native American type of shirt. It's dead stock. It's new with tags. I haven't done any research on it yet, but it's got this real cool embroidery all over it. And these leather buttons. I'm trying to think of what it has on it. Something made in Mexico. It's not in English. The tag is not in English.
Interesting.
But this tag is English on one side. So I'm not exactly sure. I've got to do a little bit more research again. I think it's like I think it's some type of Native American style. That's what it looks like to me. And it's got these weird leather buttons in the front.
Could be like an Aztec type thing.
Yeah. Southwestern. I don't know. Southwestern, Native American. I'll do a little bit more research on it. But for the $10, it's something.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Ranchera.
Ranchera.
Oh, okay. So I'll take a look at that. Thank you for that. And it's just very cool. Anyway, I don't really know what I'm going to sell it for. I paid about 10. My guess is about 75, maybe more. Might be more.
Mm-hmm.
Rodeo guys, thank you. See, I wouldn't have known that.
Very cool.
Thank you. This is why we have such a knowledgeable group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What else do we have here? I've got 2 more vintage in the same place where I got the Pendletons. Just vintage Sears 70s wool shirt jack. Looks just like it looks just like a Pendleton. Feels like a Pendleton, but not a Pendleton.
Mm-hmm.
I paid about $10 for that. It's another one that should go for about 50. And then one last one, again, also 70s. This is a 70s vintage Pendleton that's in like perfect dead stock condition, but it's not a board shirt. It's just a vintage Pendleton in like this big wide window pane plaid.
It's crazy, like tomato
It's
red.
like it's like an orangey red. Don't adjust your screen. It really is that weird color.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, again, I paid about $10 for, so probably 75-ish. Someone asks it real quick. Nature Girl asked, will this virus affect shipping? As of right now, the USPS actually released a statement about that yesterday. If you Google coronavirus USPS, you'll find it. We posted it in the Facebook group, though.
Yeah. Okay, so let me do some more shirts here. This is one of the ones that I think Kara will be really into. But this is a 1990 liquid blue t-shirt. So Liquid Blue, they're the company that does a lot of the Grateful Dead t-shirts and stuff like that. But there's other liquid blue ones that sell for a lot. I haven't looked this particular one up, but the copyright on it says 1990. It's this really, really cool tie-dye elephant jungle kind of t-shirt. You can see the back is really cool. I love this. It's definitely got some wear and some fading on it, but I think in just the perfect way. Just a really, really, really interesting t-shirt. But I think I paid like $20, $25 for this. But this is, here, I can show you this right here. Where is it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Yep, 1990. Anyway, what do you think? Think Kara's gonna like this one?
Yep,
yeah.
I do. I think that's a Kara shirt.
Very, very cool. All right. Stop it. Pretend like what I have to show is interesting.
I've already seen it at least once.
Just do it for me, you guys. Anyway.
Kara says, I want for sure. PM coming.
It's a little on the smaller side, Kara. So I know you like to wear kind of baggier t-shirts. So anyway, and then I picked up the Chicago Bulls Taz t-shirt. I feel like anything I get that has Taz on it, like sports stuff, it just sells really well. So I paid like $15 for this, but it's just a kind of one of those basic staple items. Now this one you can pretend to get a little excited about. Okay?
I do like this one a lot. I said that when you brought it up.
Miami Vice, guys. It's a sweet Miami Vice
Crockett and Tubbs
iron-on t-shirt in fantastic condition.
Remember when we used to go to the mall and get your shirts ironed on? I think that's so cool. And it's purple.
Lovely, lovely purple. But yeah, it's just really, really nice. Check it out. Cal Crew tag. Anyway, very, very cool. All right, Kara, are you ready for this? You ready for this? Check it out. So this is another one, another really awesome tie. It's super soft too. Awesome tie-dye, kind of worn and faded.
That one's got that kind of thrashed collar going on.
It's got a leopard on it. This is like it's got the whole kind of, what was that? Like Aztec thing on it. You gotta look at it.
I know, I like
what
it.
What are those things called? It's kind of like
it's almost like the pyramids, but it's
what
like
are the ones that are the
they're
South
in Mexico.
America ones?
It's in there's a couple in Mexico too.
I can't remember.
Like, yeah.
Anyway, very, very cool.
So Tommy in Seattle says, Vikki, looks like you're still picking up winter items. Do you shop for the seasons or pick what you find? So since I ship all over the world, it's always winter somewhere. I do not shop for the seasons. I may pay a little more or for something that I know is hot for that particular season, especially around the holidays, Christmas stuff. But for the most part, I'm going to shop no matter what, for regardless of the season. We have the room for storage. My stores always has stuff in it, and I don't mind sitting and waiting. So I have an anchor store, so I can have 10,000 items listed. I do not, but I could have 10,000 items listed. It doesn't cost me any more. I understand some people might shop differently based on the size of their store and their budget or the amount of space they have for inventory. But for me, I will always pick up something worth selling regardless of the season.
All right, next one I have up is this dream team, Together at Last. It's Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. They were the co-captains for the dream team in 1992. So just a really cool double-sided t-shirt. This is another cool one of those, what I was saying, the Salem sportswear. I love seeing this tag because I pretty much know it's always going to be a cool shirt or a cool sweatshirt. But this one's really nice. I think I paid like $25 for this one. But just a really, really cool t-shirt in excellent, excellent condition. Now, Vikki's definitely jealous of this t-shirt.
I am.
She's definitely jealous of this t-shirt. It's pretty small, but it's worn and faded. But guys, Goosebumps. This is a Goosebumps t-shirt. This is from the book, not the movie or television series or anything like that. This is from the 14th book that came out in like early 90s. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Anyway, just a really cool Goosebumps. I think I already have this listed. I think I have it listed for $100. I've already gotten a few offers on it. It's just a really cool shirt. It measures like a small. But seriously, guys, who was into the Goosebumps when they were a kid?
Yeah, I like selling the Goosebumps stuff.
All right.
I was not into Goosebumps. I was too old by the time they came up, but I like selling them.
Indeed. All right, guys. Last t-shirt, and then I'll go back to you, and then I can wrap up with just a couple of sweatshirts. But this t-shirt, I have been eyeballing this t-shirt for weeks. And Jesse hadn't come down and just priced enough for me. And then this last week, when I got all my stuff, I waited till the very end. I think I asked him about it, and he still was like giving me a little higher of a price than I wanted to pay. He finally like came down to like 65. And so at the very end, I was like, okay, but will you throw this one in for 50? And he thought about it for about half a second, and he was like, okay. Because here's the thing, guys, you know, whenever you have like people that you do business with, you kind of build that relationship. And one of the things I'm really careful about is I'm never too, like, I'm not one of those people who's going to be like trying to get somebody to lower their price too much. Usually, if I think it's a fair price, I will accept it, even if, of course, I would like to pay less for everything. But I try to be fair. And so what ends up happening is I feel like 99% of the time, Jesse gives me a price,
and you pay.
I say yes. And so very rarely when I really do try to come down on a price, he usually is willing to accept that. So I paid $50 for this. This is a Penguin t-shirt, Batman t-shirt. This is from Batman Returns, the sequel movie, the Tim Burton movie. And what's really, really cool about this, first of all, this particular one, there was like a series of them. There's one that has like Catwoman on it and stuff like that. There aren't any other ones of this particular one available, at least right now. And so you look at the tag and it's like, all right, it says be there. Yeah, whatever. But flip that tag upside down, guys. Stanley DeSantis. So this is a Stanley DeSantis t-shirt. Depending on the shirts, some Stanley DeSantis stuff goes for a ton of money. It just depends.
Not Google, or look at eBay solds for Stanley DeSantis.
Stanley DeSantis. He was like a producer and an actor in Hollywood. I don't really understand the whole thing of like, for whatever reason, I think he owned like the rights to a lot of merchandising on a lot of different
images.
Movies. So there's a lot of random stuff out there, like Scream 2, a Scream 2 t-shirt, which all it is pretty much the poster on the front of it. It can go for like $150. So it's just kind of weird, and there's some really cool like Oliver prints.
He's got a following, lots of Oliver prints.
Oliver prints, and but it has to do with like I think him having the copyright to a lot of stuff. It's not that he's like himself some sort of designer or anything like that. But when you see his name, you definitely want to
pick it up,
take note.
Pick it up.
And again, this one, not any available right now. So I'm hoping I can get 200. I think the lowest I would take is 150. I paid $50 for it, and I would take
200.
200 is what I'm hoping for. Just a really, really cool t-shirt. And I'm happy that it is mine now. You may continue.
All right. So now I'm going to do some hard goods. I didn't get a ton, but I did have some, and I'm going to show you some of the good ones that I picked up. I only have like 5 or 6 items to show, but one of the things that I picked up is this cute little polka dot pastel teapot, and it has a little bunny rabbit on it. It has a little bunny, so it's very topical for the moment. But it's made by the company that makes like willow tree figures. So Demadco.
I don't know.
DEM. Hold on. DEMDACO. Demdaco. I don't ever say it right. But it's perfect for Easter. It's a really cute little teapot. People that collect teapots will buy it anyway. But I paid $4 for it. I think I can get about 50 plus shipping.
No, thanks.
So another thing, again, very topical, but this is one that I would have you pick up anytime. So one of the things I pick up all the time are these. Anybody recognize these from the 80s, early 90s? Puffalumps. So this particular Puffalump is a bolo. I don't pick up a lot of plush, but when I do try to make sure they're at least $30 or more. This particular one is the Rabbit Puffalump, made by Fisher-Price. It's before they had the FP for Fisher-Price on the feet. They would usually have one embroidered on the feet, but it's got the full tag on the butt. It has a rattle in it. If you look this one up, this particular one sells for between $75 and $100. I paid $1. So it's, I was going to pick it up anyway, knowing that I sell most of my Puffalumps for about $30. I was picking it up anyway for $1. But when I went and did a little bit of research on it to find out that this particular one is one of the more desirable ones, I was like, oh, sweet. Oh, sweet. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. This is another bolo. In general, it doesn't really matter what the brand is, but when you find when you find alarm clocks that have these flip dials, do you remember when you'd plug this in and it would flip, the numbers would flip up and be like, and they make a little noise? These sell for a good amount of money. They can sell for well over $100. This particular one I paid $4.99 for, and then I had 20% off because it looks like someone was smoking in bed and put a cigarette on the top of it. So it's melted and has a cigarette hole on the top. Yeah, even still, it works. So I still think I can get probably $50 for it. So, I mean, look, who still smokes in bed, right? I mean, even that's vintage. So, yeah, I'm a little bit, I wish it were more. I wish it didn't have the damage. I probably would have sold it for over 100 without the damage, but with the damage, it was still worth buying. But I wanted to talk about this as a bolo. Not all of these older clocks are worth money, but the flip clocks, always, always, always pick them up, especially if they're neon, if they're like glow in the dark at night.
It makes me think of the movie Groundhog Day, because remember how every morning he wakes up and it's that same, it's the clock, and they have
and
like,
it flips.
Because they show it like in slow motion in some of the parts where it flips, and that Sonny and Cher singing.
So they did used to go for a lot more money, Jen, but they still sell. So you know, keep that in mind for a bolo. This is another one because we talk about this a lot. So you know, we talk about solid gold, we talk about the 70s. This particular game, I don't know that it's necessarily a bolo, but it's at least a $35 to $45 game. I picked this game up for, let's see, the tag's still on it. So it was like I paid $3. So I thought it was a pretty cool one.
Nice.
Let's see. This was at an estate sale. I picked this piece of luggage up. It's a carry-on bag. It's actually folded up. Factory still folded, so I'm not going to try to unfold it right now. But I paid about $5 for it, and I also picked up the carry-on rolling version of it. It's for Chrysler Crossfire. I don't know if it was like purchased like as a you know, when you purchase the car or somebody that buys it. I'm not really sure. But this particular one, I paid $5 for each, and this particular one sold for $60 last. So, nice. Yeah, I always pick up good luggage. Not all luggage is worth picking up, but a lot of it is. Let's see. I've got just 3 more things to show you. One of them, I did show this on Instagram. I paid $4, guys. This was another bucket list item for me. So bucket list for me I love Pendleton. We know I love Pendleton, but this is another one. If you're picking up blankets, keep an eye out for this. This is called a Hudson's Bay. So Hudson's Bay Point Blanket. I'm trying to get the label here. So this one is, I believe, I've got to check some dates on it, but I think this one is like 1930s or 1940s. This is actually a pretty old one. It's small. It's a twin size, but they're made in, I think they're made in Canada. Oh, made in England. Sorry. Made in England, wool blankets. The point blankets specifically made by Hudson Bay are really, really cool. So this particular blanket I can still probably sell for about $100 or so, maybe a little bit more, maybe 150.
Nice.
Another wool blanket I paid, it was right next to this one. This is also vintage wool. I don't know who likes wool blankets. Let me tell you guys, these things are scratchy as hell. I can't imagine wanting to sleep with this thing on my body.
They're really warm. You put a sheet in between. They're very warm.
Ugh, scratchy. I hate the feel. But this is a vintage wool blanket as well. This one does not have a label on it, so I'm going to do a little bit of research and see what I can find based on the binding. It is bound in what feels like silk. So this was probably silk. I'm really excited to find a little bit more. I know it's vintage, and by the binding, I'm going to see what I can find on it. It's probably valuable. Even if I don't find any information on it, this is still probably a $75 one.
Crazy.
So
crazy. Yeah, Allison says every grandparent's home in Canada had one of those blankets on the bed.
So this is my last item. I paid $30 for this.
What? Look at you paying up like you're crazy.
I paid $30 for it at an estate sale. But what it is it's a vintage mahjong set. So mahjong is the game that is played with tiles.
It's really fun. I think.
The reason why I paid $30 for it is because this particular set is a set from 1960. It has all the paperwork in it, and it's Bakelite. These are the trays. It's a set made out of Bakelite, and I paid $30 for it, and some Bakelite sets go for a ridiculous amount of money, like several $100s. This one I think I can get about $300 for, maybe a little bit more. I've got to do a little bit more research on it to find out about the type of tiles, but they're the butterscotch tiles. So that means it's that slightly off-white, that yellowy color. And then there are all the different colored trays that are also Bakelite. There's yellow, green, red.
I love playing this game like on an app on my phone, but I have no idea how to actually play it without it already being set up for me.
Yeah, I don't know how to play it. But anyway, I paid $30 for it. It's in the case. It's in like perfect brand new condition. Like still, like a lot of the stuff is still in plastic. So whoever had it took very good care of it. I don't even know that they played with it, but I think I can get about $300 for it, maybe more, depending on a little bit more research on it. But I was pretty happy to pay $30 for that. So, and that is it.
All right,
that's what I got.
I just have a couple of things real quick. So I picked up, so Jesse had some stuff on the front counter at yesterday's Fits, and I saw this on top, and I went right to it, and he started laughing because he went to the Rose Bowl last weekend in California, and this was the one thing that he grabbed specifically for me because he wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. But it's just it's Outer Island Divers, Hawaii about, it's just a vintage sweatshirt. It's worn and faded. It's got a little diver on it and a shark. He literally bought it for $10 and only charged me $10 for it because he was like, I just got it for you anyway. So he didn't make any money on it. But it's just I love it. I love this kind of stuff. I love the colors on it. This is very probably late 80s. This is the TJ's tag. But this looks very late 80s to me.
Oh, stop it, Sandra. She's gonna get that stuck in my head.
What?
Baby shark.
Oh God. And then this I picked up. This is actually, it's funny because speaking of Jesse, the Cardinals are like his favorite team. If you guys remember one of the yesterday's Fits boxes video, he was showing off that jacket that he got. It was a starter jacket, and he had used he used that awesome cleaner so it was signed or had somebody's signature on it, and so he like just washed it off. Anyway, he actually picked this up for himself because he was so excited when he saw it, and then realized it was just too small because it's an XL, but it's like this is a jerseys So it's like a vintage 80s XL. So it's a little smaller. But so I got to snag it for 20 bucks, and it's a really awesome. I think was a 1985 Cardinals sweatshirt. So just a really cool sweatshirt. And then what I got a few things here. You know, my love for anything hockey stuff. I got a really cool LA Kings sweatshirt. Just a really nice sweatshirt. I think I paid like $25 for this. But yeah, I find the King stuff does really, really well. And then this Penn State Nittany Lions. This one was super pilly, and I used the shaver to clean it up, and now it looks like practically brand new. I'm telling you,
get it out of my face.
Sorry, the magic of the sweater shaver is real. And then last thing, guys, I'm just powering through this because we've already been on for quite a while. Last thing I've got right here. I don't buy a lot of jerseys anymore because it's like I don't have a passion for it, you guys, and I don't know anything about jerseys. But this isn't really like a jersey. This is a Labatt Blue hockey jersey, vintage hockey jersey, and it's got the CCM tag, made in Canada. But this is a hockey jersey for Labatt Blue, delicious Canadian beer. It's okay, but just quintessential Canadian beer. And I think I paid like maybe 20-25 bucks for it, and I should be able to sell it for like 100. Listen, Labatt Blue, it's no kokanee, okay? It's no kokanee beer, but it's a close second. I'll take a kokanee any day. What do you say?
I have no idea what a kokanee beer is.
It's delicious Canadian beer. And let me tell you, Allison, I know you're not in Canada right now, but do they still give free gifts with your cases of beer up in Canada? Because I mean, they don't do that here. But there, it's like you get yourself a case of kokanee, and it comes with a toque. It comes with a free toque right on top of it. You get your beer, you get your Canadian kokanee beer, you get a toque, or maybe you get some gloves, maybe a T-shirt. I don't know, but they're
just stop.
What, you don't like that?
No.
Who doesn't want free gifts? Come on. Anyway,
I don't want a toque.
You don't want a toque?
I don't want a toque.
You don't want a beanie hat?
I know what a toque is. I said I didn't want one.
How could you not want a toque? Huh?
Does this face look like it wears that kind of hat?
Why are you racist against Canadians? Huh?
I am a Canadian, you weirdo. My whole family's a bunch of Canucks.
Take off, Hoser. Yeah, take off, Hoser, eh? All right, guys, that makes me want to go and watch Strange Brew. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Wednesday show, again, we'll be talking about storage solutions, and also good time to be taking on some big projects, doing some stuff for your business that maybe you've been putting off for a while. So we'll talk about that. But go to the Boss Facebook group.
We make Tommy have to Google a lot, I have to say. Sorry about that.
No, Allison says my free gift was always a hangover. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. Go to the Boss Facebook group. Join it if you haven't already joined it. But I did a post earlier today that showing pictures of the project that we've been buried under for the last couple of days. So go check it out, and then come join us on Wednesday.
And who knows, depending on how this shut-in stuff happens, we might get a little bit squirrely ourselves if we can't source and we don't have much to do. We may do more shows than just the Wednesday. We'll let you know.
Maybe we'll just do a live 24/7 feed.
God, no. That's awful.
We'll get body cams.
I can't nope. That's never happening.
We'll hook a little cameras onto the dogs.
Why do you always have to take it to the nth degree? Always, every time.
No more pies for you.
No, I don't want your damn pies.
Yeah, you do. No lie. Don't lie about it.
One mini blueberry pie was what I wanted. She comes home with 12.
No, we can look.
We're both going to get the diabetes, and my ass.
I believe you said to bring home a few. Okay, a few. That's more than one. That's more than two. Okay, just saying.
Do a cook with me video.
What?
Yeah. Ugh, nobody wants to cook with us.
Hey, I'm a good cook, but it just takes me forever. So I would
she uses every pan in the entire house.
Yeah. Quit your bitching. All right, guys, get back to work or back to doing whatever you're doing. I'm gonna get some listing done. Maybe get a little something to drink. Maybe a little snickety snack. I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Get some work done.
Yeah. Finally. All right. Maybe go back to Facebook and.
What happened to the diet, Tommy, in Seattle? Yeah, coronavirus. That's what happened to the diet.
We're packing it on, so if one of us has to eat the other one, We want to make sure that we can last as long as possible
Mm-hmm.
quarantined in the house. Anyway, all right. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out with us. And that's about it.
That's it. Enjoy the rest
Bye.
of your week. Bye.